If you could bring that up, Dave, DDT's chart, that'd be great. And we'll bust this down on the chart with DDT.
All right. So on, let me just turn off my one indicator. So this is just low time frame, just for the just showing kind of what happened here on Friday. So this is just a Binance chart, and obviously it's the exchange that will have the biggest liquidations. So for the most part, sorry, if I just go back to the 5 minute, go back here. So this is Friday. Literally what we did is here around this zone where we obviously started squeezing. The main squeeze was just here, kind of in this zone. And I was saying or kind of obviously that looks bad, but in this zone here, you had quite a lot of kind of this zone here is where the main squeeze happened, obviously up to kind of almost 77,000, like you mentioned. But basically what I did see specifically is obviously you see the open interest coming down in this zone, kind of little red bars there, and obviously price went down and pulled back because obviously there was no new longs coming in. So this was all shorts getting stopped out the market. Basically no commitment, so we do drop back, and then obviously when the commitment comes back in, all the longs come back in and squeeze more shorts back all the way up. Although this is not indicative, basically just on Binance, it would look as if there's actually more buying, which there was, but there still was shorts in the market getting stopped out on the way up. But also as well, it was, for those that look at vector candles, you can see even on the 5 minute, there's definitely like a market maker, or so specifically here as well, these are basically stop outs. Where you see green vector candles, it usually means there's quite a bit of volume on the other side, which is obviously the sells or the buyers literally that are kind of buying back. The shorts are buying back. So like this whole leg up to like almost 78,000 for the most part was a short squeeze. By the data I had, obviously I think you said 500 million across all exchanges. From what I could see, kind of just on a few exchanges was about 90 million, 100 million on order flow on the exchanges that I have access to. So not too far off. But that's the thing. It was bait also as well. If I can lead into kind of the TA.
Sure. Yeah.
Bar the or I can just do a bit more before if you want to revert back. But if we
No,
look here,
just go right into it, man.
Basically when we hit this previous weekly high, so just 1 hour. So we had the previous weekly high here before we squeezed. So we were finding support basically on a breakout level. This was this was a local value area high where we just couldn't break down. Even on the 1 hour, we came back down into here, 1 hour bull div, came back down into here, 1 hour bull div back up, right? And obviously money flow was still in the green, trending up, trended back up, went up. We were holding support, and shorts were still shorting into support, or locally support, right? On give or take 74 down to 73,500, or just below 74,000. And obviously, yeah, spot pressure. There was spot buying in the zone as well. Obviously, something I do look at, can't really show now because it will just my laptop's being a bit laggy. But there was also spot support here as well that obviously pushed it up. Because also in a short squeeze, it's not dependent just on perpetuals longing. It's also dependent on spot buying, and that's basically what we had to push price up. But if I can go a bit further on, just to kind of where we were. So obviously, last week we started Monday. We've been just trailing up. Money flow is looking good. Obviously, daily currently we're printing a daily red dot. Weekly still looking okay. We have this anchored VWAP that's come down from the 98k high, and obviously we flipped that to support now. And that was also a thing as well. Another kind of confident level. We'd flipped this anchored VWAP that was resistance into support, and we had 3 closes above, and then obviously a pullback in. And obviously you can see it's wicking even on the daily wicks, kind of not closing below that level is quite a strong area.
And what's
of support.
that price right there?
It was about 73,800, give or take. The anchored VWAP's on 73,800, and also as well that was the previous weekly high. So the high from the week of the 5th to the 12th of April. So it's just a static horizontal level. Obviously resistance that's now flipped to support. So obviously you can squeeze. If people are trying to short into this once it's become support, that's kind of also kind of reason that helps us squeeze spot buying and a few other things that happen. For now, obviously we squeezed up to 78. If we look at the 1 hour, or was it 30 minute? Was the 30-minute divergence? Was it 15 minute? Sorry. Yeah, there was 15-minute divergence into this high. This high is well into 78. It was roughly around a anchored view app, of which I don't have. It was more of a session. I think it was a year to date anchored view app on one of the other exchanges, Bitsnap maybe. And obviously went up there, and also as well, it's on a Friday. So, and an expansive movement on Friday is normally a trap, in my opinion, kind of by one of the methods that I use to trade. So, yeah, kind of could not break above 78,000, 78,600. I think we got 78,400, give or take 350. And then, yeah, just rolled down into the weekend. Money flows coming out generally now. I'm still kind of on the side that this remains bullish. Yes, there's some shenanigans that's happened this weekend in regards to the Middle East malarkey again, but that kind of always is a precursor that sets you up for the week. Or kind of, I think now that these type of things are happening, I'm more, I would say, I'm more influenced a little bit with the news and kind of in reading how that will kind of set the week up. Generally, now you'll find tonight that oil will gap up because of all the tweets and all the different responses from all the parties involved. So I'm hoping for the most part that kind of for now, until 74K is broken as support, all this anchored view up and previous weekly highs broken as support, I'm holding that out. What we do have, and also obviously this week that maybe I didn't get to just yet, is just that we broke last week. We broke and retested uh, the local range value area high, literally from the February drop all the way down to kind of where we are. So hopefully we stay out the range. Worst case, at this point, I am yeah. Worst case at this point, I'm looking around 71 and a half or 71,000 give or take down to like 70,700. There's a few levels here. The also kind of acting as support, so value area high, anchored VWAP. Do not know if there's a daily or anything else in there, but yeah, there's support levels in here. So if we fail here, then obviously I'll just look for a lower high. If we start losing this, I'll pull my Fibonacci. Don't pull your Fib in public. And yeah, kind of, I'll probably be looking around 75, 75 and a half now. If this now reverts, so obviously at this point, this high here could be a lower high between the 1 to 4 hour locally. Come back up in here, Fibonacci retest, and then kind of back. You need to close below, and then obviously just to kind of carry on the Fibonacci pull until you can kind of get a local retrace up, and then you'll target there. But for now, kind of my 2 key levels below us, 70, yeah, 73 and a half, 73.8, 100 down kind of, and then 71. While that's, if I can just find the VLVP, we are in the volume gap. So Frankie has been speaking about this, and a few other people have been speaking about this. Let me just hide the trunks. So we have this volume gap now where the highest node kind of back to gap up. So obviously we kind of starting to get closer. As soon as we start breaking above 80,000, the VRVP or visible range volume profile, we've got the next kind of highest volume node is 83, just below 84,000, obviously up to 86,000. But that also as well is kind of the volume gap takes you all the back up to the previous range we fell out of in January, end of January. So it's something to watch. I would be more inclined to think that if these holders support, we still obviously hold structure on the daily, which is good, very high time frame market structure. We could still aim or kind of hope for like 86K before we do roll over and kind of drop down again, kind of. So from the grand scheme of things, locally we're bullish. Really, really macro weekly, we're still bearish, or even above the 3-day, I would say we're bearish. So, but structure is forming in a way for me that would suggest that we could, if we hold support, obviously the squeeze is on and we could get back up to 86,000 as a kind of, that's my kind of next, or 80 to 86 as a zone, but I would say closer to this value area, low around, yeah, say 86,000 is kind of my next zone. This week, probably not from what I think. And then also as well, to tie this back into Bitcoin conference, generally price is either flat or Bitcoin price is generally flat or kind of pumping or kind of moving up, pushing up generally during Bitcoin conference. So yeah, I would think that that might be happening. And then obviously you get the proverbial sell-off after Bitcoin conference finishes, which is kind of just a kick in the teeth for all the Bitcoiners or Bitcoin maxis. But yeah, for the most part, watching 71K, 74K is the two local supports, or kind of two closest decent support levels. Above us, I'm not really looking at anything else until we get to at least close to 80,000 as a kind of another big swing short. If I had to kind of look for it and see the signs, obviously market cipher now doesn't really have, I would say for me, it would have to be above 8 hour bear div. Kind of we just negated it here, we kind of didn't get it. So a 10, 12, 16 hour one day, if we start getting, and obviously the daily is now looking like we should get daily or could get daily bearish divergences up here, which for me would be, short the farm. And don't tell the Bitcoin maxis that. But that is the
Well,
TA
instead of a,
in a nutshell for the week, or kind of
Watch
at least
out!
the next few
Watch
weeks.
out before my laser eyes come out, DDT. They're
They're
coming.
going to hate